So you're thinking about moving to Fort Mill, or is it Davidson? I mean, which one should you choose? Which one's better? Well, there's a lot of pros and cons to both, and that's exactly what we're gonna discuss in today's video. We're gonna compare Fort Mill versus Davidson. So if you are looking to make a move to the Charlotte area, maybe from another state in the country, like California, New York, or Florida, which is where most of our clients come from, and you're in between Fort Mill and Davidson, and this video is for you because they're both great suburbs, but there are a few key differences, and that's exactly what we're gonna discuss today, so stay tuned. And if you are new to the channel, want to know all there is to know about the Charlotte area, make sure you click subscribe and turn notifications on. And guys, also follow us on Instagram where we post daily. My name is Josh Finnegan, team leader with the Finnegan Group powered by eXp Realty. And guys, every single day we're getting calls, texts, and emails from people just like you, looking to move to the Charlotte area or within the Charlotte area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, text, email, schedule a Zoom meeting. The link is just below. We'd love to connect, learn what you're looking to accomplish, and how we can help. So as I mentioned earlier, today we're gonna be reviewing the big differences between Fort Mill, South Carolina and Davidson, North Carolina, which are two of the most popular suburbs here in the Charlotte area. Now, one of the biggest differences is going to be the location. Let's start there. Both of these suburbs are suburbs of the greater Charlotte area, but Fort Mill is south of Charlotte by about 19 miles, and it finds itself in South Carolina, while Davidson is about 20 to 21 miles north of Charlotte and still in Mecklenburg County. I-77 actually runs north through Davidson, connecting it to Charlotte and then south to Fort Mill. So that is the main artery connecting both of these to Charlotte proper. One of the big differences is the north section, the one from Charlotte to Davidson, has a toll road, where the one from Charlotte to Fort Mill, the south section, does not. So when you call Fort Mill home, you're about 25 minutes from Charlotte City Center and about 27 minutes from the Charlotte International Airport. And when you call Davidson home, you're about 26 minutes from Charlotte City Center, and you're a little over 30 minutes to the Charlotte International Airport. And guys, that's definitely depending on traffic. So Fort Mill and Davidson are pretty comparable in terms of commute time to Charlotte proper, but Fort Mill does give you a little bit closer access. But that really depends on where in Fort Mill, because there are a lot of rural parts of Fort Mill that are farther from I-77 that'll really add on that commute. One of the biggest differences in terms of location from Davidson to Fort Mill is the state they're in. Obviously, Fort Mill's in South Carolina and Davidson is in North Carolina. And when you're comparing North Carolina to South Carolina, there's definitely a lot of things you want to consider, like taxes, politics, overall cost of living. And so we're not going to dive into all the differences of North Carolina versus South Carolina, frankly, because we already did. And I'll put a link to that video up here and in the description below. So watch this video, then go check that one out if you're really interested between the two states. But a quick rule of thumb, a lot of our clients that live in Charlotte or the Charlotte area on the North Carolina side do end up moving to South Carolina to towns like Fort Mill or like Wylie because of lower taxes, better schools, and lower property values. And if you guys are thinking about relocating to the Charlotte area, you have to check out our ultimate relocation guide, completely free for you. Just scan this QR code right here. There's also a link in the description below. Guys, gives you all the insider secrets on the best neighborhoods, schools, communities, stats you need to know to choose the best areas for you and your family. So just scan this QR code right here or check a link out below. What about the town itself? Now, Fort Mill and Davidson both have historic, walkable downtown areas that give you that really kind of Main Street vibe. You'll find restaurants, shops, and community events in both these downtown areas. In downtown Fort Mill, you'll find a local favorite barbecue spot, the Improper Pig, and Pucker Butt Pepper Company, which is the home of the creator of the Carolina Reaper, the world's hottest pepper. Well, until Smokin' Ed Curry made Pepper X, which is like much harder than the Carolina Reaper. And in Davidson, you're gonna find a lot of great spots like the award-winning upscale farm-to-table restaurant Kindred. You have Summit Coffee, and you have a ton of other super cool boutiques and shops to explore. I will say downtown Davidson is definitely a lot more upscale and established when you compare it to downtown Fort Mill, especially when you consider that Davidson College is right by uptown. It makes it a picturesque place to walk, super cool place to explore, and you have a lot more dining and shopping options right in downtown Davidson. But Fort Mill doesn't just have one downtown area. Yes, the historic downtown area in Fort Mill doesn't have as much as Davidson does, but there's actually 3 separate kind of downtown walkable districts in Fort Mill. You have downtown historic Fort Mill, you have Kingsley, and then you have Baxter Village. All of them offering great restaurants, shops, and dining to give you a little bit of variety in your day. So Davidson only has one, which it is super cool, downtown walkable district, but it finds itself super close to Birkdale, which is to the south in Huntersville, which is an awesome outdoor shopping complex with restaurants and shops. And a little north is downtown Mooresville, which has a lot of great restaurants and shops to explore as well. Guys, let's go ahead and talk about lifestyle. And if you love that lake life, then you're in luck for both of these towns, because Fort Mill finds itself right near Lake Wylie and Davidson finds itself right near Lake Norman. So whether you choose Fort Mill or Davidson, you're gonna have super easy access to that coveted lake life. But what kind of lake life are you looking for, right? There's a lot of differences between Lake Norman versus Lake Wylie. And guys, guess what? We did a whole video just on that as well. So if you wanna know a little bit more about Lake Norman versus Lake Wylie, I'll put a link up here and in the description below. But pretty much Lake Norman is much larger, a lot more built up, but also a lot busier. Lake Wylie is a little bit smaller, a little bit quieter, but it can get pretty busy and not as much to do on the lake itself as far as restaurants when you compare it to Lake Norman. So while we're talking about the outdoors, let's go ahead and talk about parks, which Fort Mill has 11 parks and Davidson has 15 parks. End Springs Close Greenway is Fort Mill's most popular park with over 2,100 acres. You have 40 miles of trails, 6 lakes to canoe or kayak on. You have horseback riding and tons of events. And the most popular park in Davidson has to be Fisher Farm. It's a 200-acre nature preserve with 400 miles of mountain biking trails and a ton of walking trails. I will say they're both pretty similar distance away from the U.S. National Whitewater Center, which is an awesome place to spend the day with the family. They have a lot of great events there. But I will say Fort Mill finds itself right next to Carowinds, which is the Carolina's most popular amusement/water park. So guys, it's time to talk about everyone's favorite subject, and that's politics. Fort Mill is in South Carolina, which is historically right-leaning, and it finds itself in York County, where Republicans captured 63.5% of voters in 2024. While Davidson's in North Carolina, which is historically left-leaning, and it's in Mecklenburg County, which was 66.7% for Democrats in the last election. So Fort Mill skews a bit more conservative and Davidson leans a little bit more Democratic. So I know politics are important to some of you, but I will say both Fort Mill and Davidson really have that deep-rooted Southern hospitality, that Southern charm everyone loves, which means they welcome everyone with open arms. You'll feel comfortable no matter which way you lean in either of these respective towns. So guys, let's go ahead and talk about schools. Now, both Fort Mill and Davidson have highly respected and highly rated school systems. The Fort Mill School District is ranked #1 school district in South Carolina and the #1 school district in the Charlotte area by niche.com. They have 11 elementary schools, 6 middle schools, and 3 high schools. And Davidson finds itself in the Mecklenburg County School District, which frankly isn't as highly regarded as the Fort Mill School District, but don't let that fool you because Davidson's K-8 is one of the highest regarded in the area, and a lot of people move to Davidson to get their kids into the Davidson K-8. And Huff High School is a highly rated high school. So you're going to be comfortable if schools are important to you in either of these towns, Fort Mill or Davidson. As far as private school options, both of these suburbs have some great schools that you want to check out. I will say Davidson probably has a little bit higher of a concentration of higher regarded private schools than Fort Mill. All right guys, let's talk about housing, because obviously when you move here, you gotta have a roof over your head, and both of these suburbs have some great housing options available and a wide variety of things to choose from to really allow you to choose what you're looking for at the price you're looking for as well. And there's also some great neighborhoods you really wanna check out in both these suburbs. In Fort Mill, you have Baxter Village, which is that town center I mentioned earlier, but it's also a neighborhood. It's super walkable. It has a Charleston style vibe to it. One of my favorite neighborhoods in the Charlotte area. You also have Springfield, which is a great golf course community if you want your golf course in your backyard. And in Davidson, you have a super cool neighborhood, River Run, which is a fantastic upscale golf course community with a clubhouse. And you also have Davidson landing in a ton of condos right near the water that gives you great access and walkability to downtown Davidson. If you want some space from your neighbors, then both of these communities will give you some really good rural options where you can get some larger lots. And if you're looking for new construction communities, both of these towns have some great new construction options as well. Two of the biggest differences you will see in the housing market between Fort Mill and Davidson is Fort Mill's larger, so there are more homes just available, and the price is pretty drastically different between these two suburbs. In Davidson, the price for a single family home ranges between $300,000 to $4.33 million. The average price point over the last year was $960,000. While in Fort Mill, prices range from $250,000 to $3.42 million. The average price point for a single family home over the past year was $642,000. So the average price point is about $318,000 less in Fort Mill than it is in Davidson. So both these suburbs really do have their appeal. And guys, don't get me wrong, these are two of the most popular suburbs in the Charlotte area. So this is the best of the best. And in regards to which is better, it really comes down to you. What are you looking for, right? Everyone is different. So there's a little bit of subjectivity to this. Some of my clients love Fort Mill and really would rather Fort Mill over Davidson. Others love Davidson or rather Davidson over Fort Mill. So it really depends. Do you like that kind of small town friendly atmosphere of Fort Mill, or do you like that upscale college kind of Lake Norman atmosphere in Davidson? But guys, I'd love to get your thoughts. Have you lived or do you currently live in either Fort Mill or Davidson? Comment below. And if you are looking to move to the Charlotte area, whether it be in 9 days or 90 days, myself and my team would love to be your real estate resource of choice. So call us, text us, email us, schedule a Zoom meeting. The link is just below, guys. We'd love to connect, learn what you're looking to accomplish, and make your move a smooth one. And don't forget to check out that Charlotte relocation guide. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, I'll see you around town.